Nip Gaming TV. My name is Kyanite. Lovely man alongside me is Logan, and unfortunately due to a mix-up with the admins, I think the game has gone live and the pistol round has gone to HellRaisers. We were told it was warm-up. It seems like the players haven't been listening to the admins and have gone live, but yeah, the pistol round went to HellRaisers. Logan, it's currently 1-1 in this best of 5. What are you expecting to see throughout Overpass? Oh no, it's not live. It's not live. Okay, thank God for that. It's not live.
You're having a meltdown, mate.
I am. Jesus.
It's very clearly not live. If you'd seen what happened last round, whew.
I don't know.
I mean, that was one hell of a round.
I was eyes on my second round, on my second monitor, on my second. You know what? Let's start again. I'm gonna mute again. Let's just all start again and pretend this never happened.
Bye.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Nip Gaming TV. I told you we'd start again, and we have. So let's forget everything that happened before. My name is Kyanite, alongside me is Logan, and just
I
to
don't want to be associated with you anymore.
just to clarify, the game isn't live. The game isn't live. Some people are worried that they've missed the second round. No one's missed any rounds. We haven't gone live just yet. And on that note, you should all go and check out our beautiful sponsors. G2A.com for all your CD key needs. eGamingBets.com if, you know, you've run out of skins to bet on Counter-Strike games, go bet some real money instead. Because hey, why not? Twitch for their beautiful platform on which they allow us to stream this awesome GOCL League. And of course Steel Series as well, who have a brand new mouse called the Rival 3000. Stick it into Google and maybe buy one for yourself. You know, just treat yourself at Christmas. But on that note, Logan, what an amazing game we've had so far. Obviously, it's 1-1. And map number 3 is Overpass, which is Dignitas' pick.
Yes, it is. Now, just for a bit of background information, about a week ago these two sides played each other, and the maps were Mirage, Overpass and Inferno, and Inferno never got played because Dignitas won out 2-0. Now, they won very decisively as well. So, we saw them win Mirage, first of all, which was the second map played in the PO3 last time, which they won 16-4, and they actually won Overpass 16-9, so you'd expect the way they were, Mirage was a little bit closer than you'd think. A lot closer than it was in the last game. So by that measure, Overpass should be very close indeed, especially seeing how they played on Cash, which weren't played before. So I'd favour Dignitas a little bit on this map, considering they've already beaten HellRaisers on it previously, very recently. But it's going to be close, because HellRaisers are playing very well today.
Fair enough, fair enough. Do you think, perhaps, who ends up taking the knife round, whether that will end up, you know, making a significant difference?
Hard to say. I mean, at this level of CS, it depends on whether you have some strats you want to execute very early on to gain the momentum. So you have something really aggressive up your sleeve, and you might want to pick T-side. Or you might not even be bothered if you lose a knife round. But, I mean, I think Dignitas, being the way they are, they're very team-based, very team-orientated. They want to take this knife round and then start off on the CT side so they can show off their teamwork and their very strong defense from day one. I think that's what's going to happen here. Fair
enough. Well, as long as the beard power is with Rubinho, I'm sure they'll be okay. For anyone who has no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about Rubinho's awesome new Steam picture, which is the Team Dignitas logo with a beard and a Santa hat. He's enjoying the Christmas spirit. But on that note, ladies and gents, welcome to the GOCL Season 2, the Go Champions League, Global Offensive Champions League Season 2 Grand Final, here live on Nip Gaming TV. My name is Kyanite, the awesome guy alongside me is Logan, and the awesome two teams we have on show are Team Dignitas and HellRaisers. The score is 1-1, as it will show at the start of every round at the top of your screens in maps. And of course the first team to win 3 maps wins this grand final. Pistol round, Team Dignitas, 3 men on B, 2 men on A. A few of them going aggressive towards the stairs area nice and early on. But the HellRaisers, they're galloping towards long, galloping towards the toilets. And interestingly enough, only Rubinho, who's very passively watching the B bomb site. Meanwhile, 4 Dignitas players are holding A.
Yeah, usually when you want to hit B on the pistol round, you'll split it through a couple underpass and most outside B. So Dignitas getting aggressive in underpass, forcing Snyder back and getting info. Actually, they're not setting up for what looks like a B, so they're going to stack A, and it's a correct call in this situation. So read them like a book.
Here we go. Is the book going to be completed? It looks like it is. All of Dignitas with their specs on. 3 kills. Make that 4 thanks to Rubinho. And Kirby will hunt down the final man in the form of Schneider. So 1-0 to Team Dignitas so far. Map number 1, if my memory serves me correct, was Mirage, which was Dignitas's pick. They won their own pick. Map number 2 was HellRaisers' choice, which was Cash. HellRaisers won that. And if we're to see the same, then this map should have Team Dignitas written all over it. But when you consider how close both maps were, honestly, anyone could probably edge this. It's just been that tight of a game. SMG's coming out for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, and a lot closer map like this, where the rotate from A to B is a lot quicker, and there's a lot of up close and personal fights on B and even on A as well, around the van and the box area. Understandable when this time they're going to take SMGs rather than rifles after winning that first round.
Just to clarify, some people have been asking, this game is being played on the latest patch. The newest patch of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. That's what this game is being played on, and I believe both teams have come to a gentleman's agreement not to use the R8 revolver. So make of that what you will. And talking about making things of things, MSL has pushed long, got on the kill with his UMP, with his UMP, and he's dealt damage onto Oscar as well. So not too shabby of an aggressive push from Team Dignitas, and they have a man lead.
Yeah, we just got to be careful not to peek against these Deagles, and as I say that, MSL does exactly what I didn't want him to do. Peeks at Deagle and gets killed, but Kirby's here to retaliate, thankfully.
So 4 versus 3, make that 4 versus 2. Kirby, well, he's going to make it 3 kills in a row, and Rubino is going to get the 5th and final kill of the round. So Paul's coming in. Team Dignitas haven't really had to work too hard as of yet. HellRaisers won't really have too much money to buy up come this round, but I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time, Logan, until we see the AKs come out come round number 4.
Yes, absolutely. So, not sure why HellRaisers are choosing to pause now. It might be a technical issue because they don't have enough money to buy this round, even if they wanted to. There's a cash very low across the board, so it's not really like they're going to come up with some super strat and execute it next round.
Okay, so it seems like there's going to be a 5-minute pause, and obviously we could go for a break, but since us mentioning the fact that this game is being played on the latest patch has sort of sprung a bit of constructive discussion in the chat rather than the usual exclamation mark giveaway spams. Let's pick your brains a little bit, Logan. A lot of people have criticised Valve or Volvo recently, obviously because of the R8 randomly being added into the game, and a lot of people argued that there was no need for it. Someone in the chat was mentioning that the pistols and the weapons have been fine ever since CS 1.6. You know, why are Valve implementing all these random changes? Do they really need to? Why do they keep messing around with the game? And then as soon as they implement a new weapon that's ridiculously untested and ridiculously unbalanced, they release skins for it, which means they can no longer remove it from the game because people have a skin worth a certain monetary value. So what's your take on the whole situation?
Okay, so personally, and from my experience playing, I used to play Source and 1.6, but I played Source for a good many years and moved over to CSGO when it first came out, and I can say this very comfortably that CSGO is massively popular because they're adding new content to it. The fact that they constantly add new content to the game, like new weapons and skins, is good for the game in the long term. Now, there's a caveat to that. Anything that is added has to have value in the game, and the R8 concept of a very powerful pistol that has a slight delay when firing interesting concept and it does have some tactical position within the game, but it has to be balanced. And when R8 was added, it was not balanced. It was completely broken. The ability to one-shot kill someone up close was just ridiculous, personally. That's my opinion for a weapon that cost 850. You know, when they added it, and originally with the damage things, only the R8 revolver and the AWP were capable of getting 5 kills with 1 bullet. No other weapon, that's including all the rifles, all the other sniper rifles, only the AWP and the revolver, which is just shows you how poorly balanced it was. Now, they've made some changes to it. They reduced the damage a little bit in penetration, some bugs, and made the fire time a little bit longer. I'm yet to make my mind up on how I feel about it. I don't know whether that debuff goes far enough. But the general concept of adding new content to the game, I very much agree with. And my big problem with this latest patch has to be the rifle nerf. The pistol nerf wasn't too bad because pistols were OP by far in the latest patch of CSGO, and they needed a bit of a nerf, so I'm having no problem with it reducing the accuracy, although it hasn't really affected it that badly. My problem is that they nerfed the M4s, both silenced and unsilenced, and the AK. Now, that's completely changed the whole dynamic of the game. Bear in mind, most of the majority of rounds you're going to have an AK or M4. Suddenly, the spray pattern you've spent so long learning and that accuracy that you could rely on has changed completely because they've added such a random amount of generation to it. Now, this game shouldn't be about RNG. It's a game of skill. These players spend their lives perfecting every single aspect of this game, and when it comes down to it, and you shoot an opponent, and it's just down to luck whether or not you kill them, that's not on. That's not going to encourage a healthy esports scene. It's not going to encourage people to play the game. They're going to get frustrated. It's a very poor decision, in my opinion, by Valve. I think they did it to try and encourage people to use weapons like the Krieg, FAMAS, AUG, and Galil, but all it's done is just pissed off all the professional players and the majority of the community. It seems very poorly implemented, in my opinion. I think there's a lot more that could have been done. There's a lot more pressing concerns in CSGO, and it's weird they suddenly decided to nerf it out of the blue, essentially. Finally, the other big change for me, the round timers. Now, 1.6, CSS, and CSGO up until now, we've always been playing by the 1 minute 45-second rounds and the 35-second bomb timer. Now, in the decade I've been playing CS, it's always been the same. Now, Valve has suddenly come along and decided to change that. Very odd. Very odd indeed that they do that. I mean, it's been well defined how the rounds should be, and Valve have just basically meddled for the sake of casuals. I mean, because matchmaking obviously had 2-minute timer and 45 seconds for the defuse time on the bomb, they've decided to try and make it halfway in between. I don't see what the point is. If they're going to make it the same, just keep it how it always has been. Make matchmaking the same as in competitive CS, truly at the competitive level at the majors. It works fine, but players will adapt. Don't treat them like babies. Don't spoon feed it to them. Give them the true CS experience. And I think it's dreadful that they've suddenly decided to come in and say, actually, we've suddenly decided none of us are professional players, but we're going to make this decision about how professional games should be played. It worries me that they do these nerfs. I mean, we saw the AWP nerf. It worries me that they're going to meddle at this level of CS and not take any feedback from the community on it. It concerns me, and I really don't like this latest patch.
So, you know, obviously one of the main points that you were making that could potentially be a solution for all these changes is obviously you've got to run it past both the competitive community and the community in general, get their opinion, get their approval prior to implementing anything sort of blindly, which is what Valve have done. Back in Source, which obviously both myself and you played for a fair bit, towards the end they released a beta client where they would release the latest update, which sort of the latest build of the latest update on which they're working on, and then people would be able to play the latest update. They'd sort of have like a patch log they could look at what exactly has been changed, analyze it, and then give feedback to the developers prior to it being implemented in the proper game. Do you think something along them lines would be beneficial? So, for example, prior to the R8 being added, so that we don't have to go through those 1 or 2 days where it's ridiculously overpowered. If there was a beta client where not just professional players, but people who are part of the community in general would be able to go to the Valve forums or the Steam forums, say, this is bad, change this, change that. Do you think they should... If they're not going to make the beta client publicly available, should it at least be available to a select group of people? And if so, is that select group of people going to be limited to the professional players? Is it going to be limited to a select number of people? What do you think is a viable solution to prevent this from occurring? Because I agree, it is an issue, and it seems to be as a result of either miscommunication or Valve genuinely not caring about what anyone who's a part of the community thinks, which I would like to think is not the case.
Well, I saw a screenshot the other day. Someone claimed to see someone playing a beta version of CS:GO. I don't know whether it was faked or was actually real. Interestingly, it would be quite nice if the Valve developers took that on board and rolled out a beta client to some select few pros and people in the community. Problem with that is, obviously, if they introduce a new weapon like this for R8, it's going to be leaked. Everyone's going to know about it before it actually gets introduced in the game, and it's going to ruin the hype, if I'm honest. And the hype is what gets people into the game. So, I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have the pro players involved, but I think as soon as you extend it to the community, it's just going to get linked instantly. Now, the pro players said they had received word from Valve there was some sort of revolver coming in, but I think it was Sponge that said he thought it was a joke and didn't really realise the developers were actually going to introduce it. Now, I know that they have conversations with the developers on Facebook. There's a Facebook group that they talk to each other on, I believe, a couple of pros are mentioned. But obviously the communication can't be that good if they thought it was just a joke and they weren't actually going to introduce it. They obviously didn't ask for pros for any sort of values like, how much damage should it do, what rate of fire, etc., where would it fit in the game. They just made something up, told the pros it's coming, but that's about it. So I think there definitely needs to be more conversation between the pros and Valve, and if that takes the form of a beta client that they test, that'll be perfect.
I think what I heard from GetRight was something along the line. He tweeted it out saying that apparently you remember when Source and 1.6 were still the main games and they shipped out all the pros, GetRight, Rattlesnake, all them lot, all the way over to I think it was San Francisco or New York to try out the first build of CS:GO. I think I remember him tweeting out suggesting that back then there was a revolver in CS:GO and he never actually thought it made the final cut. So I think that's at least how GetRight suggested that he'd heard about the revolver. But anyways, that to one side. We filled the 5 minutes with, I think it's safe to say it was quite a productive chat. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. But anyways, Schneider, wow! He has wow at the end of his name, and he really is wow. He goes 3 kills for Schneider. That pause has done him a lot of good. But can he make it 4? That's the question. Kirby kills him in the end. But considering the fact that HellRaisers really did not, put that much money into that round, the return that Schneider got was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all about doing damage at this stage. And even though they didn't get the round, just forcing these Dignitas players to rebuy the armor, utility, and weapons, it's great. The CT side obviously has a lot more to buy. The weapons are more expensive and have to buy the kit on top of all that. So for the CTs, keeping a good economy is very important, and HellRaisers went a long way to neutralising that in that round. Very good round indeed.
So, no deaths as of yet. AK-47s finally in the hands of those looking to raise hell. Question is, can they do it? MSL falling back to a more passive position with that AWP towards the A-bomb site, opting to neglect long and keep his eyes on the toilets. But as that clock ticks, as HellRaisers keep playing a patient game, waiting for Team Dignitas to fall into error. That bomb is going to need to get planted. Here we go. Oscar, oh no, zoomed out at the wrong time, but he still somehow managed to deal damage to Config. But 17 HP, as we've seen, is a plenty for this youngster, but not anymore as he gets blown to smithereens thanks to Kucha's HE grenade. Rubino gets a kill, and the cell chimes in with an orb kill of his own, and now it's down to Angel, Oscar and Kucha. Oscar gets the team kill onto Angel, and now things are starting to look shaky. 17 seconds on the clock. This bomb has to get planted. Tensky, last line of defense over here towards this bomb site, and he manages to spray down Oscar. 4-0 will be the score now. HellRaisers not able to capitalize on the AK-47s they had at their disposal, and Team Dignitas stay in the driving seat.
Wow, I mean, I think it's a lack of communication there. You have, obviously, Oscar, the Czechoslovakian player, and then you got his teammates who are from the CIS region, and there was obviously a lack of communication. Didn't realise Angel was pushing up short there. Thought it was a Dignitas player. Through the smoke, decides to take up a shot and kills his teammate. So a lack of communication, obviously, between the split nationality team. It's something that we definitely need to work on and overcome, and they're ever going to win these rounds.
Yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons why so many people were surprised with the fact that Schneider obviously opted to join HellRaisers, simply because, I mean, you look at the Slovakian in Stiko, and you look at the Czech Republican in Oscar, and you sort of think, well, maybe, I guess they might be able to relate between languages, but with Schneider being Swedish, I can only assume that they must surely be communicating in English. I'm not sure whether anyone has any more specific intel on that, but definitely will lead to the odd mix-up here and there, and that could very well have been an example of it. But here we go, MSL introduces himself to this round, and what a crucial man to kill as well. Stiko, who in the past 2 maps has really been on fire, so for him to go down nice and early will definitely be great for Dignitas. Kucha gets revenge onto that very same man in MSL, and Kirby, it looks like he might be opting to take a gamble here by pushing through this smoke. Oscar's closing in on his position.
Nah, it's a solid choice from Kirby here. Get up close and personal, change the tempo. HellRaisers is going to build up slowly, and that's unfortunate. Tensky peeking short through a fading smoke. Just, it's a risk he didn't need to take there. I mean, time's on his side. Just wait it out. They had the 4-4 round there. They can hold with it, but now Angel's got another kill. It's all gone wrong. Oscar will get a no-scope through the wall on Kirby, and it's all left down to Rubino. Poor decisions by his teammates put him in such a bad decision here.
Rubino all by himself, and HellRaisers will claim, finally, their first round of the map. 5-1 the score, but still a very, very steep hill for them to climb to really get back into this. I think what's important for them is that they try to aim and make sure that the first casualty of the round isn't theirs, that they get that first frag, go aggressive, start things off, get that first early frag, give yourselves that one-man advantage nice and early on.
Absolutely, and look what they've done right now. Dignitas pushing early, getting the man advantage, getting the 2-man advantage now with that kill on Stiko, and what a kill. He's an important man for HellRaisers. Meanwhile, Angels found an opening onto B. Dignitas is playing very passive indeed on B, and we'll see whether HellRaisers take the bait and commit to his B side.
Config is going to rip off the face of Angel. Oscar, bar 1 kill, and the team kill. He's not really gone on a frag, but he gets one there, straight onto the Dignitas in-game leader. Schneider, the Swede, the major winner with Devil Walks Fnatic, gets a kill just outside of A, but he is now surrounded. He is going to get hunted down. And Team Dignitas, despite losing the last round, coming back thick and fast to make it 6-1.
Yeah, it's a great return there from Dignitas. They've ruined the HellRaisers economy. Obviously, they've built up such a large round loss bonus, and that's going to be completely reset now. HellRaisers going to scrape around the bottom of the barrel, use up the last of their cash to buy these AKs and that one P250, and they're going to bank it all on this round. If they don't win it, it'll be a few rounds before we get back to a full economy, and by then it might be out of control. Dignitas might be too far ahead to catch.
Tensky just missing a glimpse of one of the HellRaiser lads, but takes the gamble, sprays through the wood, and deals damage onto Angel. So, good stuff from Dignitas. Let's see whether they can win this round as well. Stiko not looking too healthy for him, only on a P250, and not really much utility for HellRaisers to work with. I'm surprised we've not really seen maybe 1 or 2 Galils, just to give HellRaisers, you know, that extra smoke or flash or 2 that they might need to use in their favour. Tensky gets an early frag onto Angel, and it makes you wonder whether HellRaisers are going to be able to turn things around from this point on.
They're going to have to stack up and execute quickly onto a site. Just use the man advantage on the site, not on the server. But here we go. Oscar's evened it up. 4 each, and the push will come onto this A-bomb site now. Thick and fast, and the rotates come in from Dignitas.
Well, HellRaisers, they've proved me wrong. I didn't think there was any way back in. to the round for them. Tensky sprays down Oscar to get his second kill of the round, and that Molotov going down towards the small barrel area is going to leave the Team Dignitas retakers in a bit of a pickle. Stiko sprays down Tensky, cannot get the kill onto Config, but with the position of where the bomb is planted and the positions of these HellRaiser players, Config will do incredibly well to clutch this, but he very well may well do. Schneider left on 6 HP, he's falling back, he hears no defuse coming in. Is Config going to hold it? Yes he is, but Schneider nails him in the head, played that to perfection, went right down to the wire, but HellRaisers somehow managed to pull that round out the bag, 6-2.
Costly round there for HellRaisers, every single one of the players dying, and with such a limited amount of bank, they're not going to have full utility this round. You know, you see a Tech 9 come out there, and what will Crucial by? He'll get a Galil, so taking the Galil over the AK so he can get the full Kevlar and some utility. Meanwhile, Dignitas are a bit of a force buy.
Yeah, a bit of a force buy, to say the least. But it's paid off for the ex-SK man in the form of Tensky. Gets 2 kills, trades out his P250 for the Rec 9 of Schneider, the fallen Schneider, of course. And here we go. Oscar faces Config in the underground area, gets a headshot to make it a 3 versus 2 situation, and instead of the 2 Dignitas players really opting to stick together, they've opted to spread out. Kirby tried to chase down one of the HellRaiser lads and got caught out by Angel, who was watching his teammates back, and now Tensky, the man who got not 1 but 2 kills earlier, with a chance to really shine and flex his pecs and show us what he can do, but unfortunately I feel like unless he can really pick up a rifle, regardless of how strong the Tech 9 is nowadays, it's not going to be easy, and Kucha proves me correct. 6-3, and HellRaisers slowly but surely start creeping back into this game.
Yes, indeed, and here we go. We'll see another round from Dignitas where they're going to opt to save up and just make sure they're full economy. We'll see some Deagles and a little bit of Kevlar come across the board, evening out the cash pretty much in the moment. Tensky's going to have a little bit extra left in the bank because he's obviously going to buy that AUP for MSL. Maybe not, we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, HellRaisers are going to stick together with the exception of Angel watching their backs towards that B site, and Schneider's going to check out underpass. Just going to try and find these pistol carrying Dignitas players, but oof, a little bit too much on his own there. Schneider bites off more than he can chew. Kirby will take him down. They've retrieved a Galil now.
They will certainly have Galil in the hands of the young Dane, but Kucha, does anyone realise he's actually marching his way through long? He gets a kill, but Rubinho is quick to return it, so he too may be able to pick up a rifle unless Oscar can prevent him from doing so, and he does by terminating him completely. 3 versus 2, Config starts to rotate, and Dignitas have a feeling that A is going to be the target. Config miraculously gets a headshot onto Oscar with that P250, and it's still anyone's round. 35 seconds on the clock, and these 2 HellRaiser players need to try and regroup. The bomb has been lost in a terrible area. Config needs to reposition now, and he can play this to perfection as long as they play the clock. If the bomb's going to get planted, they're going to have to plant right in front of Config. Kirby knows the bomb's still on the ground and will wrap around Angel. Team Dignitas win the round, a round that they had absolutely no right to win. Kirby getting 3 kills earlier on, and Config doing very well not to go down when he was dodging and diving between the HellRaiser AKs at long. 7-3 the score, and we think back to Cash, and especially the first map, which was Mirage. One thing that has always sort of tilted Team Dignitas back in charge is the fact that they've somehow always been able to miraculously capitalise on 1 or 2 eco rounds, which is something HellRaisers themselves have really struggled to do.
It was really Schneider that lost a round from there. They just seem unable to group up and play as a team against these ecos. Schneider, though he got the kill in underpass, he gave him a weapon and gave him an opening, and they exploited it. You can't give Dignitas an opening. You have to stick together. You have to push them en masse, take the site nice and slowly, work together for the best effect, and it's a shame they haven't worked that out yet.
4 on 3 as HellRaisers take the bomb towards B. To be or not to be though, that's the question, and by the looks of things we've got both Tensky and Rubinho protecting that bomb site. Question is, will they be able to hold off the incoming AK-47s? Oscar has no armor, so he could be an easy kill for the M4A4s. Schneider is going to chop off the face of Tensky, and HellRaisers with 30 seconds on the clock. You have to feel, need to get a move on. Schneider, the Swede, makes it 2. Rubinho has been spotted as he drops Oscar. Make that a 2 versus 2. Good Molotov from Kirby to just run down the clock and prevent HellRaisers from being able to plant the bomb. And now all they need to dispose of is their ex-teammate in the form of Schneider, who with 10 seconds to go decides to pull out. He can't retrieve that bomb, and what looked like it could have been a HellRaiser round just didn't materialise in the end.
Yeah, it's very strong rotate there from Dignitas, working as a team, and Rubino staying alive in the back lines there, waiting for the perfect moment to peak. Really saved his team's bacon, and the use of utility there to deny area on site. That's what HellRaisers don't have right now. When they're going into these rounds, they don't have full utility. They don't have full smokes and mollies to zone off these Dignitas players. They're pushing in, they're getting the frags, yes, but Dignitas are retaliating quicker and quicker, and HellRaisers are just making mistakes right now. They just don't have the economy to full buy up, and they're getting a little bit over aggressive at points.
Config says hello to Schneider, who was galloping underground. Kirby is going to get 1, going to get 2. Question is, can he make it 3 in a row? Because he still has one more HellRaiser player heading towards him. As they look to close him down, it's actually going to be Angel to get the kill with an AK-47. So, 4 versus 2. HellRaisers looking to deal as much damage as possible. Really coming into this round, they weren't really expecting to get much. But with the bomb down on the floor...
But look at where Oscar's got himself to. He's in their spawn. He could do a lot of damage here if he goes undertaken, waits for the right moment. I don't know how he's managed to get there, but he could cause some serious damage from here.
Well, is that the start of some serious damage? Headshot onto Kirby. Again, Team Dignitas have the bomb. All they need to do is regroup together and hold this drop bomb. Try not to overcomplicate things with 25 seconds on the clock. But here we go. Oscar pulls out that M4A4, sprays down his opponent. Cannot get the second though. Rubinho comes in to save the day. Fair play to you for noticing Oscar's whereabouts. I definitely didn't notice that. Not quite sure how he even got there, but didn't make a difference in the end. Team Dignitas again stealing the round, 9-3.
Yes, Oscar is just probing the defense of the Dignitas every time and finding weak points, which is unusual considering how strong Dignitas tend to be on the CT side. He just managing to work his way into that position with still 4 players of Dignitas left alive is really something. He's had to time it perfectly, and now look, he's getting the opening frag onto B, so Oscar's just carrying HellRaisers right now.
Definitely is. Rubinho on top of this A-bomb site, looking to put his foot down and stop HellRaisers from infiltrating in with their M4A4s. Schneider in the underground area with that Rec 9 chops off the face of MSL, and now at 3 versus 3, it's still anyone's round. If Team Dignitas can win this, they will enter double digits. The question is, will they be able to? Kirby sneaking behind the T's, gets 1, gets 2, makes it 3 in a row. And ladies and gents, there we go. Team Dignitas 10-3 now the score.